Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. We hope you are doing great. Biden urges U.S. to reject extremism and fury after Trump assassination attempt. Joe Biden on Sunday forcefully condemned political violence and appealed to a nation still reeling from the attempted assassination of Donald Trump to reject extremism and fury. In a primetime address from the Oval Office, Biden said Americans must strive for national unity, warning that the political rhetoric in the U.S. had gotten too heated as passions rise in the final months before the November presidential election. Biden gives Oval Office address after assassination attempt, as it happened. Read more. There is no place in America for this kind of violence, for any violence. Ever. Period. No exception, the president said. We can't allow this violence to be normalized. Biden's plea for Americans to cool it down came as Trump said that he would use his speech at the Republican National Convention to bring the whole country, even the whole world, together. The speech will be a lot different than it would have been 2 days ago, Trump told the Washington Examiner, adding that the reality of what had happened was just setting in. Biden ordered an independent review into how a gunman was able to get onto a roof overlooking a Trump campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday, and fire multiple shots at the former president from an elevated position outside of the venue. The FBI warned on Sunday that online threats of political violence, already heightened, had spiked since the shooting. The attack, which is being investigated as an attempted assassination and a potential act of domestic terrorism, left Trump injured at the ear, but it killed a spectator, identified as a former fire chief, and critically injured 2 others. We must not go down this road in America, Biden added, citing a rising tide of political violence that included the assault on the U.S. Capitol, the attack on the husband of the former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and a kidnapping plot against Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan. Biden also praised Corey Compertor, the 50-year-old former fire chief who was killed as he dove to shield his wife and daughter. Compertor, Biden said, was a hero and extended his deepest condolences to his family. Investigators were still searching for the motive of the 20-year-old suspect, identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. More than 24 hours after the attack, the investigation into how Crooks managed to open fire, reportedly using an AR-15 bought legally by his father, at the rally remained fluid. Investigators have seized several of Crooks's devices and are starting to piece together his communications before the event. Authorities said they had discovered potential explosive devices in Crooks's car. Meanwhile, details have begun to emerge about the suspect, who was shot and killed by Secret Service counter-snipers. As a junior in high school, Crooks donated $15 to the Progressive Turnout Project, a political action committee aligned with the Democratic Party, but 8 months later he registered to vote as a member of the Republican Party. Former classmates described the man as a smart and quiet student. One former classmate told Reuters that Crooks had not shown a particular interest in politics in high school, and would discuss computers and games. He was super smart. That's what really kind of threw me off this was, like, a really, really smart kid, like he excelled, the classmate told Reuters. Nothing crazy ever came up in any conversation. Another young man who described himself as a former classmate of Crooks at Bethel Park High School spoke with reporters on Sunday, recalling how his ex-companion was bullied almost every day on campus. The president, who was at church in Delaware during the time of the shooting, cut short his weekend and returned to Washington to confront the situation. In those comments, Biden asked the public not to make assumptions about the shooter's motives or affiliations, as conspiracy theories and misinformation swirl online. The Republican National Convention will begin on Monday in Milwaukee, where Trump is expected to receive a hero's welcome by the party's rank and file, rattled but defiant. Trump, who arrived in Milwaukee on Sunday evening after the attack on Saturday night, the Biden campaign reportedly moved to pull down its television ads as quickly as possible and pause all outbound communications. Politics must never be a literal battlefield or, God forbid, a literal killing field, Biden emphasized in his address on Sunday night. He urged Americans to get out of our silos and echo chambers where misinformation is rampant. Remember, though we may disagree, he said, we are not enemies.
Thanks for watching our video. Please hit the bell